Hey guys, and welcome to the channel. And well, we've done a bit of an accidental purchase. We've got here Frank the T4.
Score gang. The only thing that matters is the game. Score more. We gon' put the points up on the board. Score gang. Touchdown, field goal, home run, free throw, numbers on the board. We can score, yeah, you know. We've been making points. You can use some pointers. We the playmakers. I'm just hoping that.
A couple of weeks ago, I got a message from somebody saying they'd come available for sale. So we went down, we had a look at him, and yeah, we bought him. Yeah, so we got him transported back here, we parked him up. He's only got a couple of weeks MOT left. So what we've done, we booked him in for an MOT, which we're going to take him to now, and see what he needs, and yeah, get him passed. Better. Reckon he'll start?
Hopefully.
Hopefully. Yeah. So old Frank has got 183,000 miles. And what might not have told you is he is a Syncro. So that means he is a four-wheel drive single cab pickup truck. Which is the whole reason why when I found out that he was up for sale, I turned around, well, when they owned him, I said that when he come up for sale I'd be first refusal, which they did give me, which was nice. Yeah. But will he start on the button? No. Because he doesn't start with the key. For some reason, he starts with this button. Right, let's make sure he's out of gear. Yep, out of gear. On the button. Let's get him out there and get off to the MOT then. Tyres out and it won't handle very well.
So that's for off-roading then?
Yeah. It drives proper agricultural, doesn't it? The knocks and rattles and the smells, it's like a proper work truck.
Yeah.
It takes me back to when I first started building. You see yourself driving this?
No.
No? Why not?
I don't know.
Well, you never really drove Gary, did you?
No.
Gary was very much like Frank.
Like clean things.
Yeah. You can clean it.
I don't want to clean it.
He's going to be an award-winning show vehicle one day.
think he's more likely to be in the tatty category.
Rust and grime, or
Rust and
whatever they call
grime,
it, yeah. We've got 5 minutes to get to the MOT and we're a minute away. Now it's on the last 2 MOTs, which is only a few hundred miles. He has got advisories for the rear brake binding,
Right.
which, speaking to the previous owner, he said he hadn't sorted out, so that is potentially a problem. So we'll see what he gets. If it's only advisory, we're okay. We'll just get the brakes sorted. If he fails, well, we'll have to get the brakes sorted and put him back through another MOT, won't we? Go. Now he's in the hands of the MOT gods. Let's see how he does. Right, so Frank's had his MOT now, and as expected, he has failed. Now he hasn't failed as bad as I thought he would, which is good news. He's got 2 major defects, so that is what he failed on. One is near side rear wheel has excessive play, and the other one is offside rear wheel has excessive play. Now, the rear drive shafts have been removed by the previous owner, and it looks like that they're required to hold the wheel securely on. So that is why they didn't have. That is why there was excessive play, because there was no drive shafts to hold the wheels on, to hold the hubs on, to hold the brakes on. So we need to put the drive shafts back in. So I've got an outer CV to repair the drive shaft that's damaged. So what we'll do, we'll get that fitted, and then we'll get them on, and then he should pass his MOT. And while I can't get my words out now. While he was in there for the MOT, he's got 5 advisories as well. 1, play in steering rack inner joints near side. So we can get a new track rod for that and get that fitted. So yeah, so wheel bearing slightly noisy near side front. We can put a new wheel bearing on him, and that's that sorted. Oil leak but not excessive. We can have a look at that. Now he's not a turbo. It's 2.4 diesel, non-turbo, so the turbo won't be leaking. So chances are it's probably the rocker cover or something as simple as that. And then service brake binding but not excessively offside rear. Now, that is probably the handbrake mechanism has got rusty in the back side of him. So what we'll do, we'll buy a service kit for both sides, put new shoes on him, all new slave cylinders, the whole lot. And then we know the rear brakes are good. So once we've done all that, he should pass his MOT. And then I don't know what I'm going to do with him. As I said at the start of the video, I didn't actually mean to buy him. I got offered him at such a good price I couldn't turn him down. So yeah, I don't know what I'm going to do with him. If you guys can think of something that I could do with him, let me know. But I think I'm just going to use him, abuse him, and enjoy him for what he is. Yeah, right. Alright, so we'll wait for these bits to turn up, and when they do, we'll get them all. We'll get the drive shaft rebuilt, and then we'll get all the bits on Frank, and then hopefully next week we can get a fresh MOT on him. But as you can see, it's all back together again. I used the clips that came with the kit for the CV boot, but because this is the old one back on again, I didn't have no clamps, clips, whatever you want to call them. So I've used a couple of Jubilees. I'm sure that'll be fine. This one, for the other side of him, there was nothing wrong with it. The joints are fine. There's no point in messing about with that. Yeah, so it's all ready to go back on the T4. Once we've done a few other little jobs, then we'll put it back in for an MOT, and fingers crossed it'll pass this time. Yeah. Even though I've been wearing gloves, I'll end up covered in it. It looks like I've got a a dirt moustache as well. Very sexy. First thing we want to do is put the drive shafts in, and then we're going to have a look at doing the front track rod arm, and then we'll look at doing the rear brakes. So what we'll do, we'll get the gear out, get set up, and then crack on. If you look here, Connor, you know, so these bolts, with what's holding the wheels on. Do you know how loose that is?
Very.
Yeah, look at all the dust in there.
Isn't that not metal?
Yeah. Came off nice and easy.
Yeah.
Look at that. Now we've got a nice seat. That and that. Just grab that. Bit of a homemade washer, look. You see how much it's been moving?
Yeah.
Yeah. He did say from the MOT that he didn't think it was the wheel bearing that was loose. It was just like the drum. Let the handbrake off.
It moved.
Yeah. So that's how much plays on it.
Is there not meant to be any?
No. And without them there, as we've got in the hold on. Let's see if I've got a key that'll fit that. So when the previous owner had removed the drive shafts, they'd put this nut and bolt through with this on the back to stop this play. Driving down the road, it hasn't really worked. So what we should have in this box is new shoes, new springs and everything. So what we're going to do while we're here, we'll replace all that before we put the drive shaft and everything in. So we've been sent this care package from VW Heritage. Let's see what we got. In this box. What's in that box? And what's in this box? So I'm guessing this is the inner tie rod. Yeah, so it's the inner tie rod for the front. New wheel bearing for the front with circlip and bolts and everything. We'll see about getting that fitted as well. Hopefully I don't need to press for that one. And then this should be for the rear brakes. I've got boxes within boxes. So there's all the little springs and whatnots. They'll be slave cylinders unless they're leaking. I'm not going to bother replacing these. And here we've got new shoes. So there's a pair of shoes. Not the pair you got on your feet, Connor.
No.
For here.
Shiny.
Yeah. So when you pull your handbrake, it pulls this cable here, look, and pulls this lever. And you see it pushes them out, which then go onto the drums. So what we need to do, we need to pop that off first. These, you just push these in, twist them, and they pop off. We've got all new ones, look. All new springs, all new everything. So we'll give these a clean up, get the new bits on it, get the new drive shaft on, and yeah, Bob's your uncle. So, you know brake pads, you can see the thickness, can't you? Through the wheel, take the wheel off, you can see it, but these you can't. And if you look there, Connor, look how worn down that one is compared to that one.
Jesus.
So they definitely needed changing. They weren't far off having no meat left compared to the new one. So yeah, so we'll get the other side changed and then happy days. Now I'm hoping this here that says Volkswagen T4 drive shaft has got all the nuts and bolts in it. It's looking like it.
Be a pain if it didn't.
It'd be a big pain if it didn't. Alright. I'll put this back into the back and then we'll have a look at getting these drive shafts in. Now we'll try and get this other drive shaft in. Hopefully it'll be a bit easier on the other side. With this one being the
Smaller
original one. That's the bolt for the outside.
I can see why you get back pain.
Sorry?
I said I can see why you get back pain.
Yeah. So it's now MOT day. We've got him booked in for an MOT later. There's still a couple of little things I want to do with him. But off camera, since the last bit you just saw, what we have done, we have fitted the new brake lines to the rear, and we have fitted new slave cylinders both sides. So the rear brakes are now completely overhauled with new brake lines. And I think what I'll do, I'll just quickly nip under and show you what we've done. As you can see, look, new brake line, new slave cylinder, all the way up, and the same that side. So they're ready for the MOT. We've now got the rear drive shafts in, which has now settled up those rear wheel bearings that was failed on. So this is a new CV joint this side. We've painted the shaft, and that is the existing CV joint. And that side, it's the two existing CV joints. There's nothing wrong with those. But yeah, as you can see, the corrosion under it ain't nowhere near as bad as what I thought it was going to be. I know these wishbones are a little bit crusty, and they will probably fail soon, i.e. fail an MOT, not actually fail and take me off the road, hopefully. But yeah, so what we'll do now, we'll get up to the front end, and we'll have a look at that track arm. So what we have here is the new and the old one, and to be honest, I can't really feel any play in this old one. So I don't know why they've pulled that up. There's no play in this. So again, I'm not sure why they've pulled it up, but they have. So we're going to replace it. And we'll see at the MOT if that was the problem. And as you can see, if I line these two up like that, look. So these ends are in the same place. This lock nut, if I put this new one in the same place, it will should track up the same. So they are now the same. So because I didn't move this one when I took it off, it shouldn't have moved. So yeah, so they're both the same now. Same length. So yeah, so this flat point here, look, and this flat point where it mounts to the rack, in line. And then here, these are in line. So hopefully we should be spot on and we should be tracked okay. But like I said, I can't really feel no playing that. In out, round and round, it's quite stiff. And the new one's a lot stiffer, but don't know. We'll put it on and see if that passes the mot. And you may notice on here that unlike most vehicles, there's no spring. And you'll be like, how does the suspension work then, Mark? Well, then if you can see up here, probably just out of your view, this bit here, it goes to this bone, this wishbone here. That's a torsion beam. So like the back of a Beetle, the torsion beam twists and that's your suspension. And the thing is, at the back, you've got an adjuster, so you can actually lower these without replacing any parts. Or lift them up. Easy. The only thing you might change is the shock. It might not be long enough or short enough. Oh, yeah. Alright, let's get this back together again. Easy as that. Alright, so let's all get tidied up and get off to the MOT. Alright, so now we're heading off to the MOT. I forgot my proper mount. You're wedged on the dash on a tripod, so it's a little bit wobbly. I do apologise. We've got about a 2 or 3 mile drive to the garage. I did book it into the nearest one where storage was, just in case we had a little mishap. But obviously we didn't. We just did a few minor things. But just to recap, Frank here is a 1995 T4 single cab Syncro pickup. Now T4 single cabs, I won't say they're rare, but there's not many about. And in Syncro, I've not seen another one. So he's a pretty rare beast. Parts for the Syncro system, with him being a pre-95, are a little bit tricky to get hold of, but we did manage to get hold of that CV joint. So hopefully that's sorted him and he will pass his MOT. He's had 2 previous keepers to myself. Sorry, when I got him, he had 2 previous keepers. So now on the logbook, he's got 3 previous keepers, and now they all lived within a few miles of each other. I've got the original paperwork from when he was brand new, and that was sold to Staples. Then after that, he went to somebody else in Old League. And then after that, he's gone to somebody on the outskirts of Old League. So he hasn't travelled far at all, even though he's done 183,000 miles. So I'm guessing they're 183 hard, on the farm, working 1,000 miles. Not easy motorway miles. Not that Frank's a motorway vehicle. So what are my plans with Frank? Well, I don't really know. I bought him on a bit of a whim because we knew the previous keepers. They've had him for 9 years, and I always said, oh, 4-wheel drive pickup truck, that's a bit unusual. If you ever sell him, let me know. I want first refusal. So it came up that they was going to get rid of him. He needed the rear seat drive shaft, which they couldn't get hold of very easily, and they're just at the age of this vehicle, they're just a bit worried about other parts failing and not being able to get hold of them. So yeah, I got Frank off them, needing a little bit of work. So we put him through an MOT just for giggles, to see what he'd get, and didn't need a lot. So we've fixed him up now, and hopefully when we get to the MOT station, it's going to be green light, good to go. But no, still don't know what I'm going to do with him. When I want to fetch engines, gearboxes, car parts, building parts, or anything like that, or any messy work, take any rubbish to the dump or like that, I'll use one of them other vehicles. Well, Frank's got a flatbed on the back, so it just makes sense using Frank. So yeah, I think I'll keep him MOT'd, tax and insure him, put him on the road, and use him. Feels good brakes, lovely bit of town this, don't come here very often. Must be out of season because usually there's loads of fishermen along here. I say I'm not too sure what I'm going to do with Frank, but if you want to see more of him on the channel, comment below. like the video, share the video, and let me know what you think we should do with him. I'm all up for just not even restoring him, just running him as he is, doing the work as he needs it. You know, give him a good old Lanagard or whatever underneath. Get some correlate on the bodywork. You know, protect the bits of patina and everything. You may notice he has got a bonnet bra on. Now that is a bit of an unusual modification on a T4 like this. But the previous owner, he had a cyclist go out in front of him and smash up all the bonnet. So he's put the bonnet bra on just to tidy it up. But yeah, might be worth getting another bonnet in the right colour, or even taking the bonnet bra off and seeing if we can just straighten up a little bit and leave it on him as, you know, part of his story. After all, that is Frank. Here we are, pulling from the MOT place. Yeah. So in a minute, he's going to be in the hands of the MOT gods. Oh, there you go. We've just left the MOT centre, and it's a pass. Now, we did replace that front track inner arm, and they've now advised it again. So I've got the sheet here. But yeah, so it's come up plate in inner steer rack joint. Now, we've put a new one on it, so the only thing we can think of now is it's actually the steering rack itself. So it looks like we've got to get a new rack. Now, these T4 power steering racks are all the same. So it's a fairly simple job to swap. Well, fairly simple job to get hold of it. Not fairly simple to swap it over, but we'll get a new one on it. Well, we'll monitor it, and if we need to, we'll put a new one on it. And then it's got that wheel bearing making a little bit of noise. Now we've got a new one to put on it. We do need to get a big press. I don't have a big press to do it, so I'm sure if I take that hub off and take it somewhere, we can get a new one pressed in. But yeah, for all intents and purposes, Frank is now fully road legal. Happy days, another 12 months MOT on him. So, as I said earlier, I'm not sure what I'm going to do with him. Probably just use him as a bit of a workhorse, parts hauler. Yeah. You can think of anything that I should do with him. You know, drop a comment, let me know what you think. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and all that other yada yada yada. And I'll see you in the next one.